Jesus once spoke powerful words. He sat on a gentle green hillside. A large crowd gathered very close to him. They came from all around to hear his voice. His teaching was truly special, unlike any other. It was the famous Sermon on the Mount. He talked about God's kingdom, God's loving way. He showed everyone how to truly, fully live. His words always brought such deep, calming hope. He wanted them to understand God's heart for them. In Matthew chapter 6, Jesus spoke of worry, such a common, heavy human feeling it is. He asked them, "Why do you worry so much? Look at the little birds flying free," he said gently. God our Father feeds every single one of them. Consider the beautiful wild flowers in the field. God dresses them in such wonderful splendor. You, his child, are worth so much more than these. God cares for you deeply, more than you can know. He sees your every need, your every concern. Before our key verse, Jesus said even more. So do not worry about your everyday life, not about what you will eventually eat, or about what you will one day drink, not even about the clothes you will wear. Life itself is much more than just food. The body is much more than simply clothing. He wants us to trust his unfailing goodness. He wants us to clearly see his constant loving care. He desires our hearts to be light and free. Then came the comforting words of Matthew 6, verse 34. Therefore do not be anxious about tomorrow, he declared. What a wonderfully freeing command this truly is. For tomorrow will be anxious for itself, he continued. Let tomorrow handle its own unique concerns and issues. Sufficient for the day is its own trouble, he taught. Today has enough. Focus your heart and mind right here. This verse feels like a gentle, reassuring hug from God. It is an open invitation to deep, lasting, unshakable peace. A peace that only he can provide for us. Jesus tells us, do not be anxious about tomorrow. He understands our human tendency to fret and worry. We often think about what might happen later on. We imagine future problems that may never arrive. This habit steals away our precious joy for today, but Jesus offers us a completely different, better way, a way filled with his perfect peace and quiet trust. He wants us to be free from the chains of fear. He desires for us to live fully in the present moment. He knows the future is safely in his hands. Then he says, for tomorrow will be anxious for itself. Tomorrow will certainly have its own set of challenges. We cannot possibly solve tomorrow's problems today. Trying to do so is such a heavy, needless burden. It is a burden we were never meant to carry alone. God will be there for tomorrow's needs just as for today's. When tomorrow finally arrives, his grace will be there too. Trust his perfect timing. He is never early, never late. Let go of what you cannot control right now. He has tomorrow covered so you can rest. The verse continues, sufficient for the day is its own trouble. Each single day already has enough things to handle. We do not need to add tomorrow's potential troubles. That would be like trying to carry 2 days at once. God faithfully gives us the strength we need for today. He provides his abundant grace specifically for today. He meets our daily needs just as he promised. We can face whatever today holds with his constant help. He walks beside us through every moment of this day. His presence is our comfort and our guide. This points to God's model of daily provision. Think of the manna in the wilderness for Israel. It was a daily miracle, a lesson in trust. God taught his people to trust him each new day, not for the entire week, not for the whole month, just for today, for this single span of hours. He does the very same for us, his beloved children. His mercies are wonderfully new every single morning. His grace is always sufficient for each individual day. We don't need to borrow trouble from a day not yet born. Let us consider the truth of God's sovereignty. God is ultimately and completely in control of all things. He knows the future perfectly. Every detail is clear to him. We, on the other hand, do not know what tomorrow holds. Worrying about the future is like trying to do God's job. He lovingly holds tomorrow and all our tomorrows in his hands. We can truly rest and find peace in his capable, strong hands. He is a good, wise, and all-powerful king over creation. Nothing happens outside of his awareness or his loving plan. His rule brings order to chaos, peace to our fears. Now let's think about God's wonderful providence. Providence means that God actively, personally cares for his creation. He provides for all our needs, both big and small, not just the major needs, but the tiny details too. He sees every little sparrow that falls to the ground. He even knows the exact number of hairs on your head. His care for you is deeply personal and intricately detailed. He is always working all things together for our ultimate good, even when we don't understand. His loving hand is at work. He is our faithful provider, our Jehovah Jireh. We must also acknowledge our human limitations. We simply cannot add a single hour to our life by worrying. Worry is completely unproductive. It achieves nothing good. Instead, it drains our precious energy and our spirit. It clouds our judgment and steals our present joy. Recognizing our natural limits actually helps us to depend on God. He is limitless, boundless in power and wisdom. He is all-powerful, all-knowing, and ever-present with us. Where our strength ends, his divine strength begins. Leaning on him is not weakness, but true wisdom. Finally, embrace the beauty of God's daily grace. Grace is God's unmerited, undeserved favor and kindness. He gives it to us freely without any cost. He gives us grace specifically for this present moment, for this particular challenge, for this specific day. We do not receive grace for tomorrow until tomorrow actually comes. Trusting him fully unlocks this continuous daily flow of grace. It is always, without fail, perfectly enough for our needs. His grace meets us where we are, as we are. It is a river that never runs dry for his children. Here is a very practical step. Actively trust God. This is a deliberate choice you make each moment. It is an active decision, not just a passive feeling. When worry whispers its doubts, choose to trust instead. Remind yourself often of God's unwavering faithfulness. Remember all the times he has provided for you before. Speak his powerful promises over your anxious fears. Trust is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it grows. Start small and watch your confidence in him expand. He is worthy of all your trust, all your life. Another vital step is to live one day at a time. Focus all your energy and attention primarily on today. What can you accomplish for him in this present day? What does God want you to do right here, right now? Give your very best to the tasks and moments of today. Leave tomorrow and its concerns safely in God's loving hands. This simple practice brings such profound, sweet peace. It simplifies your life and calms your racing mind. It allows you to truly enjoy the gift of the present moment. Today is a gift. That's why it's called the present. Jesus also gave us this instruction just before our main verse. But seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness. Matthew 6:33. Make God and his purposes your absolute top priority. Seek his will for your life, his ways of living. When we focus our hearts and minds intently on him, he acts. He then takes care of all our other needs wonderfully. This focus wonderfully reorders our worries and our priorities. Suddenly the things that seemed so big become smaller. His kingdom becomes our greatest desire and pursuit. All else falls into its proper place under his care. So let us conclude with this joyful affirmation of faith. Wake up each new day with a fresh sense of trust. Expect God's unfailing faithfulness to meet you there. Know with certainty his grace is perfectly sufficient for whatever the day holds. Do not carry the heavy burdens of yesterday into today. Do not borrow anxieties from a tomorrow you have not yet seen. Live fully and joyfully in today, embraced by God's loving provision. His mercies are indeed new every single morning just for you. His daily grace is your strength, your peace, your hope. Walk forward in faith one day at a time with him.